Waypoint Partners. This is Tim Cole with Waypoint, and we sent out an email earlier this week asking people to give us some really good ways that they're trying to connect with their kids and their youth during this crazy time with the coronavirus and the way that's interrupting our normal church rhythm. And we do need to see it as an opportunity that we don't want to make this a pause on our kids and youth programs, but as an opportunity to use this time to do things that we would never do before or to do them in a different way. And so it's been great to get just a tremendous amount of input from leaders of kids and youth just over the last 24 hours or so. And I want to share with you many of the ideas that have been shared. And I'm going to start with kids first, youth second. So if you're a youth leader, some of the ideas in the kids area might apply to you, but then you'll be coming in the second half of this video. And so what I want to share with you, I'll try and give some names and shout outs to those that are doing that. But one of the things that we're seeing from a lot of people is that they are sending parents a lot of resources, PDF files, emails, downloadable coloring sheets or activity sheets or devotionals. And it's such a powerful moment to enlist the parents to be involved in the spiritual development of their kids rather than just bringing them to church and letting the church leaders do that. And so any way that you can be empowering your parents to be partnering with them for their kids' spiritual development, that's huge, the opportunity that we have right now. But some churches are already starting to think about Easter and have heard plans for how they're going to be doing their Easter eggs. And so heard from New Hope Christian Church in Manassas, Virginia, how they're going to be putting Easter baskets together with eggs and candy and delivering those to the front step of the doorway of the kids in the church, but also having crafts and activities to do as well, since we are now all homebound for the time being. Also had another church, where is that? The First Christian Church in Burlington, North Carolina, creatively is having 6 specially colored eggs that they're giving to all the families so that when they do their family Easter egg hunt on Easter Sunday morning around the yard or wherever, that 6 of them are not filled with candy, but they're filled with 6 elements that talk about the Easter story in them: a rock, a nail, a piece of cloth, a red cloth, a cross, a mini spear, things that help you tell the story of the Passion Week, ending with the one empty, maybe the yellow or the golden egg, that's the empty tomb for Easter Sunday morning. And so it's a way to equip parents to teach their kids the Easter story through the Easter egg hunt. And so I love those ideas that we're getting there. Also had a number of churches that we're talking about, they were already doing or starting to do scripture memorization, and that the kids have to video their memory verse and send it to their children's leader. And so the kids get the excitement of showing their own video of their scripture memory, and then they get some kind of prize or reward for their scripture memorization. And so they might earn some kind of kids cash that they can buy Christian stuff with, things like that. So I think that's a great idea. Of course, there's a lot of private Facebook pages where there's devotions being done or activities. You can also schedule ways that you're interacting with your kids and parents, scheduling Facebook live events or Zoom events where kids get to see each other. I have seen a couple of examples where children's leaders are doing regular video live, Facebook Live. One was called Cooking from Home, and so and it's kind of interactive where you can go get all your cooking stuff, and we're going to cook this together while we're doing it online. I have seen another church. That one was with the Woodland Hills Church in Abingdon, Virginia, but have seen another church, I'm not sure which one it was, but they was doing a craft online together. So here's all the stuff you're going to need. Go get it, and we'll do this craft together online and do one a week or something like that. Another thing I've seen is a church is going to be starting to do, this is the First Christian Church in Covington, Virginia, going to be doing reading Bible stories online. You know, it's always a great moment in a church when you bring the kids up front and you tell them a Bible story before the real sermon, and the parents are listening just as much to that usually as the kids. But to just do a Bible story online that the kids would listen to for 5 or 10 minutes, and it gives them a reason to be connecting with you and your church leaders, your children's leaders. And Exie Anderson at the Point Church in Raleigh talked about scheduling FaceTime or other video calls, but then playing with the kids where they have those filters where you can put the funny eyes or the funny ears or whatever and kind of make it a silly time, but connecting with their children's leaders at that time is a great idea. And so I think there's a lot of creativity that we're having that children's leaders are really starting to strategize on how they can be interactive with their kids in this time that we're going to be isolated from each other. How can we mitigate that isolation by doing stuff together, even virtually? I do like that there's a few churches that are having their own kids' time on Sunday morning, either at the same time as the adults, so the kids would be in a different room watching on a laptop versus the big TV, or the Compass Church in Mechanicsville, Virginia, said that they're having their own watch party, kids watch party, an hour before their main adult broadcast. So the kids get their own deal. They're calling it a party rather than a worship service. And there's a 10-minute teaching time and worship time that's kids worship, not adult worship. So I think that's a great idea to have a dedicated worship service on Sunday morning. You can also use, I just learned yesterday, Facebook Premiere, where you can pre-record Facebook videos and then show them live so that you can interact with people while it's happening live. And so if you go to YouTube and kind of search on Facebook Premiere, you'll see dozens of short 3-4 minute videos on how to use Facebook Premiere so you can record a video but show it live on Sunday morning at 9 o'clock or something like that. And so I think that's a great feature. Now for youth, we've had a number of great ideas thrown in as well. One is having some kind of youth gathering that's virtual via Zoom or whatever, but that you've got games that you can play, whether it's a trivia game, like I've seen from the Olivet Christian Church in Newport News. Heard a lot of people using kind of scavenger hunts where you go find elements and take pictures and text them in, or go find them and show them online and have prizes that way. And Aaron Stokes from Lake Church in Palmyra, Virginia, was telling me about having polls where he asks the kids questions and they have to answer the live polls. I think that's a great idea, as well as he's continuing their Bible reading plans for the youth, which is a good idea as well. We had one church tell us that they've got a dedicated youth service, the Ecclesia Church down in Myrtle Beach, that they have a live youth service on Sunday morning that's different from the adult service, and the viewership is huge because it's broader than their own church because there's so few churches that are doing dedicated youth services, and so the number of hits they got on that was huge, and so I think that's a great idea. TJ Owen at the Area 10 Church in Richmond, Virginia, said that they're having student luncheons where kids are not getting to go to the lunch at school any longer and sit around and chat. And so he's having half-hour-long chat sessions from 12 to 12:30 Tuesdays and Thursdays for kids to come eat lunch and interface online like they normally would at school, but here they have to do it from home. Bain Angles from the First Christian Church in Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina, told us about having a movie watch party with a hangout feature on Netflix where the kids are watching a movie but hanging out at the same time that you can do virtually through Netflix. I think that's a great idea. A lot of the churches that we heard from was saying that they were using the breakout rooms on Zoom, that you can have a large group gathering where you have your games like scavenger hunt or whatever, but then you can break out into rooms for smaller groups for youth conversations where you can have just 4 or 6 or 8 kids have a deeper conversation in a smaller group. And so you should be looking into that if you haven't already figured that out. There's several churches. A Bridge Church in Fishersville, here where we're at, is having kids do devotions that they record and post, and those get shared not only with kids, but then adults love to see those as well. And heard another one, Aaron Stokes was having a Thursday night thoughts, which is a spiritual conversation for kids, not on a particular topic, but kind of a Q&A, a total request live kind of deal. And it's been really well received. It's an hour long. Kids can ask any question they want about life and faith. TJ Owen also told us about a funny news update on their YouTube channel. And so your youth group can have their own channel where all your videos get posted to. Your kids subscribe to that channel so they get notified whenever a new video has been posted to their dedicated YouTube channel. But then there's a regular news about what's going on with youth, but funny and silly ways to do that. So what we're seeing is that youth leaders and children's leaders are being really strategic about creating connections with their kids, empowering their parents, giving resources through downloads, creating devotions. And so it really we're not shrinking our youth ministry or children's ministry, but we're taking this opportunity to expand the way we do youth ministry with our kids and our youth. So I hope you love those ideas, and keep sharing the ideas that you're having that can be shared by other people around. And we're glad at Waypoint that we can help you navigate ministry together. We are navigating uncharted waters, and thankfully we get to do that together. So have a great week, and hopefully you can use some of these ideas or spur new ideas of what you can do with your kids and your youth. Have a great week.